Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video. So 2 weeks has gone by. That means we get a brand new big bad boss fight for the Winter of Woe. And things started off quite insane with Absorbing Man, but Kabam has kind of eluded that. Absorbing Man's probably going to end up being one of the hardest fights, if not the hardest, for Winter of Woe. And I really don't see a fight being more difficult than that, personally. And yeah, this week is not even close to as hard. Not even close. So let's go ahead and take a look here at this Nebula. You guys can see I'm already done. I already beat her one time, and I have one objective complete already, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But first, let's go over Nebula. So it is Nebula, which I think we all knew based off just the promotional art when the first one came out. It's Absorbing Man and Nebula, so it's pretty safe to assume it was going to be her. So we have a Force of Will node, so ability accuracy reduction is not going to be working here. I think, so Medusa, but I'm pretty sure I saw Cat already did this with her Medusa. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe Medusa just has the damage and shuts her off because she's a robot anyways. But we have Galvanize, which is a bit of an annoying node. So every 15 seconds, the defender alternates between Charge Up and Overcharge. While in Charge Up, hitting the defender's block inflicts a shock debuff on the attacker, dealing 200% of their attack over 6 seconds. While in Overcharge, all the defender's attacks are unblockable. Wait! Oh, I just realized. Okay, so it's only blocked hits. Because the solo I got was with the shock immune, so I didn't have to worry about the shock part of this node. But okay, that's only on blocked hits. Okay, so regular hits you'll be fine if you're not running a shock immune. And then Gimme Shelter. I despise this node. I truly hate this node. So basically, the defender has a 90% chance to auto block basic attacks. This chance decreases by 15% for each buff on the attacker. While auto block charge is above 0%, defender gains a 100% chance to resist heavy block breaks. So your heavy attacks can be auto blocked, which is very fun. Then we have outside in. So for like the entire half of the fight where I just completed that objective against Nebula, I wasn't I knew there was a root node because I was getting rooted and then getting hit, but I wasn't understanding why I was being rooted. And I'm pretty sure, without even reading this, I'm pretty sure you just need to stay close to Nebula, and if you're too far away for too long, then you get rooted. Let's read it. If far away from the defender for 3 seconds, the attacker is rooted for 4 seconds. I figured that out from doing the fight after getting rooted like 2 or 3 times and taking a couple combos. I was like, oh, I think I figured it out. So yeah, don't be too far away from her from too long, or you're gonna get rooted. It's especially bad if that happens while she is unblockable with the second part of Galvanize here. And then we also have Cold Turkey. So whenever the attacker purifies a debuff, they receive a burst of degeneration damage dealing 4% attack. Then we have Even Punishment. Whenever the attacker stuns the defender, one buff is nullified off of both the attacker and the defender. Oh, I didn't even notice that node before. Okay, so yeah, lots of nodes. The main ones, though, to look out for is the Gimme Shelter with the auto block and the Galvanize. So who did I end up going for the offensive burst and medium tag? Well, let's go put that on and see who we have to pull from. So offensive burst. There we go. And so remember, it has to be a medium tag champion. But I'm pretty sure if we put in the medium, it's going to show up medium tag champions who aren't offensive burst. It's kind of weird. Yeah. So obviously, one champion really stuck out to me when I put it to this, which is Scorpion, because he is shock immune. So I was like, oh, if I use Scorpion, I don't have to worry about the shock part of the Galvanized nodes. Like I said, I thought it was hitting, not just blocked hits. But Scorpion is size medium. So he fits both of those specialized tags. So Scorpion can absolutely work. If you didn't go for Scorpion for this one, I'm not sure. I think some people were saying Silver Surfer. But with the guide that I'm about to show you guys to using Scorpion for this fight, I think is the best option. To put it into perspective, I woke up, so I'm half asleep in bed, looking at the fight. Looked at this tag first. I was like, okay, let me try Scorpion. I go in with Scorpion. I'm fighting, literally laying down with one hand and like one eye open. And I took off 50%. And I could have kept going. I was like, okay, Scorpion can 100% do this. So I restarted, got up, went into the bathroom, and then might have soloed the fight on my first real attempt while recording. So yeah, I highly recommend Scorpion. And like I said, I've refined the strategy after doing it. Like I said, it was a little rough in the first half. In the second half, I pretty much get it down. So I'm going to give you guys all the best tips. But just before we jump to that, I am curious to check out these other tags. I'm not sure who I'm going to use yet. So let's check out the God and Metal tags real quick. So I do have Angela. I'm thinking her or Odin for the God and Metal tag. So yeah, if we look at the gods here, Herc, I don't believe he's metal. He's not. Makes a lot of sense. I don't think Kabam's going to put her as an objective champ. But yeah, Angela, we have her Sig 60 now. So she is definitely an option. And then we also have Odin, Awakened 7-star rank 1. So I'll probably end up using one of these champs. I haven't tried it with them yet, but I think I've heard both work. So that'll probably what I do. And then the last tag is Karina's Challengers. So let's go ahead and check out that tag as well. And so for those other two tags, I'll just be making some separate videos. We got 2 weeks to get this done. Yeah, out of all the options here, Void, maybe I'll use Void, or maybe Shang-Chi. Right now, those are the two options I'm really looking at, because Shang-Chi is going to have a lot of control over the fight, and Void's great. Don't get to use Void too often, neither do champs. So yeah, I'm excited to try out those other tags. But alright guys, let's go jump to my Scorpion solo now. Let's go. Alright guys, so we are jumping into the Winter War. You even see, look at my energy. It's 51 out of 70. So, the first 10 was the run when I was doing Always Half Sleep. Then this was the second attempt running into the quest. And so we're going to activate the Rupture pre-fight here. And I actually switched my relic after the first time, because I always run the Spider-Man 2099 relic with Scorpion. But, having Dex here isn't a bad thing because of the Gimme Shelter nodes. So I switched to the Hulk relic because we're going to be applying Rupture, which is physical damage anyways. And Hulk increases that damage. So as you're going to see, like I said, the start of this fight's a little rough, but you can see Scorpion can do it. But like I said, I was unaware of how the root was functioning until I get rooted a couple times and get hit by her. And I also wasn't doing the best combos. So you're going to see here I'm going medium, light, medium. Which, the first time, like I said, I was doing this run while I was half asleep, I was just doing medium combos, because, get the same amount of debuffs. That's what I like to do for Battlegrounds fights. But those types of fights, the opponent is running the Limber Mastery, so, you're not able to get in 3 attacks while they are stunned. But here, you totally are able to. So you have more than enough time to input medium, light, medium while she's stunned. However, I don't recommend doing medium, light, medium. I still recommend those 3 attacks, but I think the best way to input them is to go light, medium, medium. That way, it's just, you input all 3 attacks well before that stun expires, where the medium, light, medium, that last hit is kind of as the stun expires. So it just feels a little bit safer. So yeah, if you're going to be using Scorpion for this fight, basically, all you really need to do, and so here I get rooted, but all you need to do is when she is not unblockable, just parry, light, medium, medium, and that's it. I'll start doing that probably once we get her past 50%. I find that combo and I start to really like it and just use it for the rest. Still, I was figuring it out. But yeah, highly recommend doing that combo and just tossing off the special 2s. One of the first special 2s triggered her regen buff, which was really nice because, of course, Scorpion can siphon the regen. And so here I get rooted again. I full dex one combo, but then the next combo gets me a couple of crits. We take some damage. But yeah, I was really hoping that, my subsequent special 2s would also trigger the regen because, I'm trying to heal up, especially after taking a combo. But unfortunately, we're not going to trigger her regen for the rest of the fight. So I need to not get hit too much more because I won't be able to heal it up. And just like that, we get hit. But the relic is completely safe to throw pretty much at all times. I don't think the relic can be auto-blocked. So that's a safe way to guarantee an opening. And especially if you get rooted or something. So yeah, but yeah, this fight, you know, pretty simple. Just parry, light, medium, medium. I think, yeah, I'm starting to do it here. Light, medium, medium. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, you just want to get in that as many times as you can before she goes to that unblockable state. So here she went unblockable, and I kind of panicked, so I just threw the special 2. And it connected at least. And, you know, even with just a couple debuffs, the special 2 is still doing some decent damage. You know, got 20k burst. My Scorpion is, of course, ascended. But I had no boosts at all, not even a 10%er here. I was debating putting on a 10%er, but I was like, nah, I don't even think Scorpion needs it. And he didn't. So, you know, if you want to throw on a 10 or 20% boost on like a rank 4 Scorpion, you know, it's going to make up a lot of the difference versus like an ascended maxed out one. So you can always do that. This fight is just a little slow. That's really it. It's just kind of slow, but that's fine. You know, slow and steady wins the race. It's very, very safe. You just really need to be careful of those roots. That's really where she was getting me on them, was the special 2, because, you know, they create so much distance. So just kind of be ready to close the gap after you evade a special 2. And yeah, I think at this point I started to realize why I was being rooted. I think at this point I understand how that node works now, after being rooted like 3 or 4 times, or maybe not. I definitely get hit again at some point. Maybe that's when I finally learned. I don't know. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, dude. Hindsight would be such a powerful superpower to have. You know, just always knowing what you should have done. That'd be great. But yeah, here we get rooted again. Luckily, we don't take too big of a combo. And then yeah, just going back in for these parry, light, medium, mediums. There we go. All right. And then I think we're also going to throw the striker here so we can get 2 more debuffs. Boom, stack up to 8. Then drop the special 2, and we're getting a 42k burst on that one. Not too shabby, but again, we're not triggering that regen, so I have no way to heal right now. And then here we get rooted again. Okay, I think that maybe now I've learned. I don't know. This, like I said, this fight was not pretty, but it was only the second ever true attempt. First attempt while screen recording. So, you know, obviously the more you do the fight, the more you learn. And now I feel like I definitely know enough that if I were to jump in again, you know, I'd probably be able to solo again, but with an even higher health total. Because this, I'm still gonna take more damage. This fight has a bit of a sketchy ending. But, you know, I'm feeling good at this point. Like, I'm looking at our health bars. I'm like, all right, you know, I still have a bit of an advantage. Yeah, right there. She tags me. Thankfully, our Scorpion sense comes into play, evades for us, and we're okay. So we got 19% health left. She's at 18. It's pretty close. Again, throwing that striker as I can. Just using a little heavy attack to push her back. Also apply a couple sting debuffs. Just gonna make our subsequent debuffs last longer, which is great. I'm not even really gonna be able to use it though. That debuff fell off by the time I was able to parry and start putting in these attacks again. And yeah, again, I'm still hoping to trigger one of those regens on my special 2 here, but it is not going to trigger again, unfortunately. But it does do a nice little burst, 36k. She throws that, she's down to 5%. And I'm like, all right, come on, this is it. This is it. Let's not choke now. Let's not screw up. Let's just get her done. So you see here what I'm doing is I keep tapping her block. So the reason I keep doing that is just to keep resetting our spacing so that I don't get rooted. At this point in the fight, I definitely understand how that root node works. And yeah, just the occasional 1 block tap while she's unblockable is really all you need to do to avoid that node. Then here, just throw the special 1. Bait 1 more final special from Nebula, and she is dead with a solo and an objective. So that fight was around like 6 minutes, 40 some seconds, something like that. So a very long fight. But like I said, slow and steady wins the race. That's the solo we needed. Size M and offensive burst is complete. That is going to go ahead and do it for my first video on the Winter of Woe week. What is it, week 2 or I guess boss number 2 with this Nebula. We got 1 objective done with a solo. I'm going to definitely try to get all solos on the objectives this time because it is a lot easier than Absorbing Man. But yeah, what do you guys think about this Nebula boss? You know, I feel like the Absorbing Man kind of put a bad taste in people's mouth when it comes to Winter of Woe and these challenges. Just a bit of a rough start, but I feel like this is, you know, very attainable for a lot of players. Not going to be nearly as difficult to do and just to even solo and to complete these objectives. Like, there's no crazy robot tag here this time around, you know? So, yeah, very curious to hear you guys' thoughts on all this. Are you starting to like Winter of Woe a little bit more now with this new and easier boss? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. That's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the solo. More to come. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.